Today marks the day California finally reopens. It's open. Finally. California. Congratulations, Californians. Texas has been open for like a year now. And Florida is pretty based and open. I mean, a lot of our states are open, right? But California is basically the last bastion of wokeness, right? Check this out. California, the most populous U.S. state, drops restrictions with a mix of joy, worry, and anger. Well, I blame that on the media. California lifted most of its COVID-19 restrictions and officially reopened on Tuesday, marking the moment with state-subsidized vacation giveaways and $15 million in vaccine lottery prizes as it emerged from the pandemic, politically divided but economically formidable. All right. Okay. Ohio did $5 million in a lottery giveaway to 5 winners, $1 million each. And I thought that was crazy. They have to pay people to take this vaccine. They have to have a lottery that you can win money to get this vaccine. California did 15 million in giveaways in lottery to get it. That's crazy. Man, I feel like even just is that going to get me banned? Just saying that's nuts that they're giving money away for people to convince them. Geez. One of the last U.S. states to reopen, California has already relaxed many of its health restrictions. Others will not be completely phased out until autumn. Still, the formal unwinding of pandemic rules in America's most populous state is yet another signal of the national turn towards recovery. 1 out of every 8 Americans lives in California, which generates 14.5% of the nation's gross domestic product. There is no American recovery without California's recovery, Gavin Newsom said in an interview Monday as merchants prepared to ditch the masks and occupancy constraints that have limited both commerce and the coronavirus. The good news is the state's economic recovery is well underway. Great, so you can give more money to China, like that $1 billion you gave them for masks and never got them, right? Let's see. The coronavirus has infected 3.8 million Californians and killed more than 63,000 since the pandemic started, more deaths than any other state because of the size of California's population. At the same time, the state has been especially aggressive in combating the virus, occasionally walking a fine legal line in balancing civil liberties with public health needs. In April, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down some of the state's pandemic restrictions on religious gatherings, and Mr. Newsom's pandemic policies have helped fuel a Republican-led recall campaign against him. All right, full stop. Even my liberal friends that they're not even my friends. They basically said, "I hate you now. You're a Nazi for voting Trump." Hate Gavin Newsom. All right, I was having these arguments with them. I was trying to explain, and they were just it was more of a one-way argument because they would argue, and I'd explain, and they would continue to argue because there's no talking with these kind of people. They were just screeching. But the Californians that I know that are on the far left end of things cannot stand Gavin Newsom. I don't know anybody who likes Gavin Newsom other than Gavin Newsom. No joke. Even his so-called friends that he went to his friend's birthday. That wasn't a friend. That was a lobbyist. Okay? That wasn't his friend. He was just making a claim that it was a friend to try to make it seem less than it was. But he broke his own rules. He defied the coronavirus mandates that he put himself. So Republican-led recall campaign? Come on. Jeez. The state erred on the side of caution, and that's impinged on personal freedom in favor of public health, said Dr. Christopher Longhurst, the chief information officer for the health system at the University of California, San Diego, but it saves lives. Interesting. So to err on the side of caution is being heralded as something good, right? So why did they get so upset with President Trump when he stopped flights from China? They called him a xenophobe. President Joe Biden called Trump a xenophobic for canceling the flight. Isn't that erring on the side of caution? Isn't that saving lives? It's so polarized how much they just change the way they word things to manipulate the masses. That's really what it is. This is them saying, well, they were erring on the side of caution, so they saved lives. Well, yeah, I mean, I could say that about a lot of the things that Trump did last year, but they ridiculed, they demonized him. These things are so ridiculous. Like, you know what? California should have been opened a long time ago. Period. Goodness sakes. Now look at this. Gavin Newsom. I'm done reading that New York Times article because it just gets thicker and thicker as you go. Gavin Newsom gives detailed on upcoming vaccine verification system. Why don't you just call it as it is? It's a vaccine passport. That's what it is, right? Look at this freaking dude. He is he looks like a villain. He looks like the villain when he's not wearing his mask, right? Now, I'm not talking like a COVID mask. I'm talking about like the freaking, scarecrow mask or something. This dude. He announced that the state would soon be rolling out a new vaccine verification system for private businesses that may be akin to a vaccine passport. Why don't you just call it that? Because it's fear. They don't want people to think that. No. It's like a vaccine passport, but it's different because this one, it's on your phone and you can show it, but it's not mandated, but it's still basically a vaccine passport. During an event in San Francisco on Monday, Newsom clarified that the system will essentially be an electric vaccine card that individuals can keep on their phone as opposed to carrying around the paper card. It's not a passport. It's not a requirement. It's just the ability to now have an electric version of the paper version, so you hear more about that in the next couple of days. Basically saying and giving the people the right to say, show me your papers, and instead of having to have a physical paper, you pull up your phone and be like, here's the proof, and it's electronic, and so they can regulate it, and it's kind of scary. Period. So that's why I called it California reopens, because sure, they're reopening, but they're one step away from asking for your papers to go anywhere. You have to prove it. I'm so fed up with all this stuff. So good luck to all my California friends. I have a few friends that still live in California that I still do consider friends. And man, I would never want to live in California. I did when I was younger. I mean, California's beautiful. Have you ever been to California? It's beautiful. The countryside of California, incredible. The redwoods, amazing. There's something to behold. Like, you should go there at least to see what it's like, and then leave. Okay. All right, that's enough ragging on California.